I'm going to start working on my Christmas art journal, and what I want to do is paint this cover black, just because it's going to be the background color for my cover. But I have this black paint that is so difficult to open up. I don't know if I'm going to get it open. When all else fails, take the top off. I don't know if I'm going to have enough, but we'll see. I hope so. I'm going to put something on the spine different, but I just want to cover this up. I'm just using old acrylic paint. I have no idea if that's something I should be doing or not, but I guess I'll find out. So I'm just putting this on pretty generously, actually. I should have something underneath here. So I don't get paint all over everything. Stick that under there. These are just a couple of pages that I ripped out of the book. I didn't rip that many because I really didn't need to rip that many. I'm thinking maybe 8 to 10 pages is what I'm going to be working on in here. It's going to be a small book, but as my first attempt, I think maybe it's a good idea to do small. And I've sort of been thinking about what I want to put in here. And on that note, I've sort of made a little list in my head. I should probably put it on paper of the things that I want to say in this book without actually saying them. Now I'm putting stuff on top of this, so I'm not really fussy if it's a bit streaky. I don't think. Anyway, I want this book to be a representative of what Christmas means to me. And, oops, there I go. I've been writing just some words, just words of what Christmas means to me. So, first thing that comes to mind is family. My Christmases have always been very family orientated, as I'm sure everybody else's have. The other one is memories. And of course, you can't forget music or food. I'll paint this too just because, but I'm going to cover it with something else. And for me, there's a biblical meaning to Christmas, but then there's also Santa Claus. So for each thought of like this that I'm having, I'm going to dedicate a page. The other one would be customs or decorations. I probably could fill a big book, but I don't want to do that. This is my first art journal project, so I wanted to make it fairly simple. And I think Christmas is a good place for me to start because I can get lots of ideas. So I'm going to let this dry and I'll see what happens. I don't know, maybe it'll all peel off. I hope not. And then what I'm doing next is I'm going to put another layer of something over this, probably fabric. I did find a little bit of fabric. I'll show it to you. So I did go to the little secondhand store and I found this fabric, which is really pretty. It's actually two little hand-sewn bags, so I'm going to just rip them apart and use the fabric. So I've got 2 pieces of this. And then I found a bag of scraps like this. And this is what kind of made me think of painting this black, is the poinsettias. I'm going to build a poinsettia on the front, and I'm either going to build it in fabric or in paper. I haven't decided. A poinsettia petal is basically an oval, and if I had a larger poinsettia, I might consider just fussy cutting one out, because I want it to be, I want a big one in the middle and then a spray maybe. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. But that's sort of why I'm going with the black, because black and red is so gorgeous. And so I have a bunch of this. It has some holly and some other stuff on it. So actually it looks like this was a panel to make placemats, and this part was left over, so somebody donated it. So I could actually make quite a bit with this, actually sew it together and make a little table run out of it too, which I might do, because there's a lot here. Look at how much is here. But in the meantime, I drew out a teardrop, a couple of teardrops, like this, just out of paper. And I'm going to cut out, I have some red construction paper, but it's not the right red at all. I keep hitting my microphone. It's not really the right red. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out a whole bunch of these petals, and then I'm going to tea dye them to see if what happens with this red paper when I tea dye it. If it's no good, then I'll go to plan B, but I can always paint as well on here. So I'm going to cut out a whole bunch of petals, enough to make a large poinsettia for in here. And then I'm going to tea dye them and see what they turn out like. So I've made a small start on my little Christmas art journal, and I have ideas of things that I want to do inside of it. And I have lots of paper and cards and words. So I'm going to let this dry now, and I'm going to go cut out a whole bunch of these petals on this red construction paper and tea dye them, and then I will be back and show you what happened when I tea dyed this red construction paper. I hope it works. I want it to look old. I was not at all happy with the effect that I got after I painted this with just acrylic paint. So it was too shiny. It was really, really terribly shiny. So what I did was I took my homemade matte medium and I added some black paint to it, or not matte medium, my homemade gesso. And I added some of that acrylic black paint, and I made, everything is stuck together here. No, that's not it. I made black gesso, like that. And I repainted it with it, and now it's a matte finish, which I like. So now my next thing is I'm putting this on the front of the book cover, and I've made a door that you're going to open. I have to perfect this. I will stick this down, and when you open the door, you're going to see an image of the inside. I was going to do the poinsettias, but that's not what I'm going to do now. I've made up my mind that's going to change. So I'm going to cut this down to the right size. I want the tree to show, so I'm just kind of showing you here. When you open the door, you're going to see something like that. And it's going to have, I have another little piece of paper here somewhere that says welcome home. So that'll be across here like this. So I just made this little door. I cut this. This was the picture that I got out of a magazine, and I just attached a piece of cardstock to the back. I'm going to trim this off, of course, and then I will fix all this so that when you open the door, you're going to see that scene in there, and it's going to say welcome home. And that's going to be the front of my book. Now, this book also has a very rough binding, so I've cut a piece of this fabric that I got from the thrift store, and I'm going to glue it onto here, and I'm going to glue it around to the back. So that's going to cover all of that messy part up there. So I've done a little bit. I haven't been really working. Sorry, don't mean to hit this. I haven't really been working on this very much. I've been doing a lot of knitting. I'm trying to finish my brother's socks because he's now in the hospital, my brother is. And it's also his birthday coming up, so I want to get those socks done and to him. But I just thought I would share the little update on this project. I've also been doing a lot of slow stitching, and I will take you over and show you what I've been stitching on and all the slow stitching projects that I have unearthed that I have to stop starting new projects. This is just a play project for me when I feel like gluing and playing with paper and being a child. Not that this is a child's thing, but I'm really enjoying this. Just mucking about and having some fun with some paper and an old book. I think this is going to be really nice when I get it done. Yeah, so I just wanted to update you on this little project. This is the piece I've been spending a lot of time working on, this slow stitch piece. I've been working mostly on this side. I still have a few spots here. This bird was one that was on a doily that my mom made, and there was quite a few birds on this, so I've been fussy cutting them out. And this bird, I'm going to put a connection to this ring here. And then over here, I've just found this was part of I think these flowers were from some kind of upholstery, but it's a very fine upholstery material. So I just started now seed stitching on here. I'm going to do all of this spray of flowers in seed stitch, and I'm using these really old threads. This is a size 50 mercerized cotton. It's old. Looks like there's something else underneath it. But anyway, and then this one is a size 40. It's crochet cotton, but it's the right color and it's very fine. So I'm using these two for this part. I've got a little green in this size as well. I'm going to stitch. So all of this will be seed stitch. I've started a little bit. I'll bring it up a little bit closer so you can see what I've done. I've just started a little bit of seed stitch in there. So I'm just going to seed stitch the spray of flowers. This here, I've just been doing running stitch in here. It's pretty solid running stitch, and I've done chain stitch here, and I'm just outlining this chain stitch with a different color just so that you can see it a little bit better, and I will continue to do that there. So this piece I'm making is for the cover of this. I'm going to pop you back down again. And it's not going to be big enough. It's going to be a wrap, but it's going to be like this, and then like this, and then it's going to have a slide-in pocket here. So I have to add, as you can see, this is not going to be big enough by any means. So I'm going to have to add a piece on here and also a piece on here so that I've got enough space to attach it. And I'll be able to slide the book out of it eventually. So this will be the front, I think. And this will be the back. I think it'll be really nice. But yeah, I do need to add maybe another 6 inches so that I've got enough to make the fold, and then I make a pocket here just so that I can slide the book into. So this is coming along. I've been doing this while I've been watching the Blue Jays. Yeah, aren't they wonderful? Okay, so that's one thing. I have unearthed a lot of stitching projects, and I thought it would be kind of a good thing to show those to you right now, just to keep me honest about how far behind I am and how many things I have started and not finished. So as I've been coming across things, I've been throwing them in this basket here. And let's start with this. This is the scroll that I started my fall scroll that I was putting together. I have it all pinned. Now I need to invisible baste it. It's very long. I gotta move this out of my way. It's going to be very long. And I've used fabrics that I've dyed myself, eco printed. Some of this I did with just paint and like a jelly print type of idea. So it's going to be a very long scroll. But I think it's going to be great. I haven't attached it to this stick. It's just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So this is something that I want to get back to as well as soon as I finish that. But I think in the meantime I could start putting my invisible basting on here so that I can get my pins out, because I need my pins for other things. Here's a join here. I'm going to be joining those two pieces together. You see, just to make it doubly long. And the piece of wood that I have is just a piece of maple that we took out of our hedge that I have stripped the bark off. I've made myself some really nice walking sticks out of this maple, and now I'm just cutting up little pieces for scrolls. This is obviously going to get shortened some more, but yeah, so I have laid the scroll out. I've pinned it all down. Now I have to just, before Christmas, I would like to at least get it basted down. I'm not going to start actually doing the stitching until next year on it, though, I think. But this is going to be a nice project, too. And also, this is the first scroll I've ever done. I've never done a scroll before. I've wanted to do one for quite a long time, but I haven't gotten around to it. So I think this is going to be really nice. So that's one project I found. And of course you've seen the birds. I haven't done any more on that. And then I have this bowl, this blue bowl. Got everything in here. I've done a fair amount on it. I'm stitching it already. I'm stitching it. You can see that I'm stitching the back, but there's a lot of work to be done on this too. This part is fairly well done, but all of this needs to be stitched, and then I have to collage inside and stitch it. So yeah, this is going to take some time. This too is nothing that I'm going to be finishing anytime soon, but it is something that I would like to get finished eventually. So that's another project. And then I have all these. These are bookmarks that I've started. Here's a Christmas one that I started. And I have people in mind for this. This is going to be for my nephew because he's a guitar player. And this is going to be for one of his sons. And I have to figure out another one for the other son. So yeah, bookmarks. That's another project. I like the Christmas one. And then I found something that I started last year that I thought I should have finished for this year, but it doesn't look like I will. Do you remember what this is? I guess I have to remind you. Oh, excuse me. This is a Santa Claus with long legs. This will be his body. This is his coat that I started. I've pieced it all and I've started stitching it, but this is as far as I got last year. This is his coat, and then he'll have a pair of pants and a hood. So this is the coat, and his body is just a tube and legs. The coat forms his arms. And then he'll be carrying a bag as well. I don't think I've cut anything else out. This will be his hood. That'll go up there. And then you stuff the arms and you put a mitten on the end. And then he'll be carrying a bag full of goodies. I think this is going to be his hood. So I'm going to have to... Is that his hood? Yeah, it must be. This is his bag that he carries. But all of this has to be collaged still. Oh, there's his hands. And have I got anything else cut yet? I don't think I have the rest of them cut out. His pants are just another pair, you just use a square and you cut the pants with that. So, yeah, this is another project that might have been nice to be working on, but I don't actually know if I'll get to it. I should, shouldn't I? But I would never finish this before Christmas. There's a lot of work to do on this. But it kind of put me in the Christmas mood, even so. So, that's another project. So on my list to finish is, first of all, I want to finish this because I want to cover my book. And then I probably should finish the bookmarks because I'll probably be adding those to Christmas gifts. Then maybe I might do the Santa. Who knows? I mean, this, if I stuck with this, I probably could finish this in a couple of weeks, sometime in November, I would hope. I just do this in the evening before I go to bed, and I can zip this along pretty good. This won't take that long. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to put any pressure on myself to finish anything. I'm just working at my own pace, which is what I like to do. And that's what makes Slow Stitch so enjoyable. So all of these projects, there's one more, and that is the Coverlet of Comfort, which I did start in January with K3N, Catherine Chambers of K3N, and I think I got up to April and then I stopped because I just wasn't feeling the direction that she was using for hers, that, you know, she encouraged you to follow, and I just, it wasn't me, so I stopped. But since I have stopped that piece, I have since come up with some ideas that are me. So I think I might revisit that one next year and finish it on my own, not follow her, but just do my own thing. And I think it'll be much more satisfactory for myself. I am planning on starting a series with Rita Summers from Gone Rustic. She's going to be doing a yearly stitch along type of thing based on words, and it sounds like it'd be really something that she's just going to give you the words and you can do what you want with it, and it's slow stitch. And so to me, that's more my style, where I get to choose what I do. I'm I like other people's ideas, but I very seldom can follow them for very long. My own creativity kind of gets in the way of following other people. So I think I'm going to try Rita's method. I'm sure if she gives a word and everybody's going to be interpreting that word in their own way, just think of all the possibilities. It's great. So that's what I'm going to do. But I would like to get this done. The other thing that I'm working on right now is a Christmas present for Jonathan, and I think I probably feel okay to show it to you. So I'm going to go and get it. 1 second. I don't know how well you can see this. I can maybe try and bump you down a little bit better. This is Peanut. This is the house, our house in Winnipeg that we lived in for a long time and that we moved here from. And Jonathan bought this house, and so he still lives in Peanut. And Jonathan, my son, is an artist. And I'm taking a huge, huge leap here to try and do an art piece to give to him for Christmas. But in another sense, he has been such a wonderful influencer for me and learning to paint and to draw. He has been so wonderful, so helpful, so encouraging, and I just wanted to do one for him. So I'm going to show you a picture of Peanut the picture that I'm working off. It's a picture that I took probably around 2006 or so, and it's the one that I'm working of. Now I think I'm finally ready to start outlining this with pen, with marker. That's the next step. There's pieces here that aren't going to be seen, like the roof you won't be seen. I'll show you why. This is Peanut. Lovely little house built in 1929. Tiny little house, that's why we named it Peanut, but a beautiful little home, full of character, the coziest little place that you could ever imagine. And he still loves his home. So I decided that I was going to make him this picture, and that's what I've drawn out. And I think, like I say, I think I'm ready to start outlining it with felt pen, marker, not felt pen, a marker. And then I'm going to start painting. But as you can see, there's trees that pretty much cover the top. So that's sort of why my drawing is a little ambiguous on the top. But the painting, I think, is going to be the easy part. The hardest part for me was drawing it. And I think I have done a fairly good job with it. I had to shut the light off, so I don't know if you'll still see it. No, you won't. Well, maybe you will. I had to shut my little ring light off because it was too reflective on this screen. Anyway, this is the project that I'm doing for Jonathan. One of the things I'm doing for him for Christmas. Of course, I'm knitting him socks, and I've knit him gloves, and I will buy him things too, but I'm really excited to see if I can do this. And if it doesn't work, this picture will end up in that book that I'm making the cover for. But I think I'll be brave enough and give it to him, even if it's not perfect, because he will still love it. I know he will. And he'll treasure that I tried. I know that. So this is the other sort of secret project that I'm working on, and I'm really taking my time with it because I don't want to have to do it again. It took me about 2 weeks to actually draw this out, and I'm pretty sure that I'm at the stage where I'm going to start outlining. And I will take a photo of the outline at some point and share that with you as well when I get around to doing it, but that won't be for a week or so. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and the weather is nice now. We haven't had rain for a few days, so I've been doing a lot of walking. I've started back walking every day. I'm enjoying it so much, and it's taken me a year to get back walking after my fall and breaking my shoulder. I lost my confidence in walking on uneven ground, which we have a lot of around here, but I'm back walking now, and so I'm just going to add in 6 minutes of my 4.2-mile walk, and you can just chill and look at the beautiful place where I live. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.